Project Blackbird was supposed to be ZeniMax Online's next big thing, a massive, ambitious sci-fi MMO designed to redefine the genre. Imagine 7 years of planning, testing, and development.
Only for Microsoft to suddenly walk in and hit the giant red cancel button.
That's exactly what happened here. Hundreds of developers, thousands of hours, and an entire studio's hopes went straight into a corporate paper shredder. And the best part? The gaming community only found out because of leaks, not an announcement, not a press release, just whispers.
Classy Microsoft, real classy.
And this isn't one of those vaporware projects where studios toss around vague promises and then quietly move on.
Oh no.
Insiders say Blackbird was far along in development. Playtesters described it as having a stunning vertical city, fast-paced traversal, and a fresh take on MMO gameplay. It wasn't just another reskinned Destiny, it was something new, something bold, something Microsoft probably looked at and thought,
too risky, back to hero skins.
This is honestly becoming a pattern. Every time we hear about something ambitious in AAA gaming, it gets axed because it's not an easy guaranteed moneymaker. Project Blackbird had the potential to shake things up, but innovation and risk apparently don't survive boardroom PowerPoints. Welcome to gaming in 2025, where creative freedom lasts right up until someone in finance starts sweating. And here is where it gets funny. Reporters say Phil Spencer himself loved Project Blackbird. Yes, the Xbox boss, the one who greenlit buying Activision Blizzard for $69 billion, was hyped for this game. He demoed it, played it, and insiders claim they practically had to pry the controller out of his hands. Imagine being so into a game that you pitch it to everyone around you, only to have your own company cancel it behind your back.
Oof, brutal.
And guys, this wasn't just another project in a stack of 50. Phil reportedly saw Blackbird as the next big Xbox IP, something that could stand alongside Halo and Elder Scrolls Online. But apparently and unfortunately, loving a game isn't enough when you've got shareholders breathing down your neck. Microsoft's higher-ups didn't care if Spencer was ready to tattoo Exodus City on his arm. They looked at the spreadsheet, saw MMO and new IP and went,
yeah, no thanks.
And this is exactly why gamers are so cynical about AAA publishers. You can feel executives drooling over passion projects 1 second, then tossing them into a dumpster the next. It's like watching a chef brag about a 5-star meal while the restaurant owner sells the ingredients for scrap metal.
Inspiring leadership.
Now the centerpiece of Project Blackbird was Exodus, a sprawling vertical sci-fi city designed for insane traversal. Imagine skyscrapers stacked like Jenga towers, hovercraft highways crisscrossing the skyline, and players zipping between them with grappling hooks and wall runs. This wasn't going to be your standard walk from point A to point B MMO. This was going to make Titanfall and Destiny feel like they were standing still. Playtesters said the traversal system was the highlight of the entire game. Grapples, double jumps, air dashes, you name it, Blackbird had it. This was designed for speed, verticality, and chaos, the kind of environment where PvP battles would look like anime fight scenes on steroids. And now, gone, completely gone. Microsoft deleted years of work like clearing your browser history before lending your laptop to your parents. Gamers have been begging for something fresh in the MMO space for years, and Blackbird actually had the guts to deliver it. Instead, we're stuck with recycled Destiny expansions and the 14th season of Elder Scrolls Online. We didn't just lose a game, we lost a chance at something new. Now let this number sink in. 7 years. No, really, let it sink in. 7 years of concept art, prototyping, writing, coding, playtesting, all evaporated overnight. Some developers reportedly found out about the cancellation on the same day they were prepping new builds for internal demos. That's not just a business decision, that's a knife to the ribs. And it's not like ZeniMax is some struggling indie studio trying to make ends meet. They've got Microsoft's bottomless wallet backing them. There was money here, there were resources, and there was talent. If this team with this funding couldn't get their dream project greenlit, what hope does anyone else have? And to make it even worse, there is no clear explanation, no roadmap, no reasoning, no official "we tried but failed," just complete silence. And for the poor developers, this isn't just about a project ending, it's about years of their careers wiped off the map like it never happened. Now here is where the fight actually intensifies. ZeniMax Online has a unionized workforce. They're one of the rare big studios where employees actually have bargaining power. And yet, even with protections in place, Blackbird still got iced. Sure, unionization likely saved a lot of people from layoffs, but for a studio whose crown jewel just got nuked, no layoffs doesn't exactly seem like a win. A lot of these developers poured years into Blackbird. This wasn't just another project, they were building something they thought would define their careers. Instead, they now have to pivot back to Elder Scrolls Online's expansions or whatever live service filler Microsoft decides is safe. Imagine this, guys, imagine spending 7 freaking years perfecting a sci-fi MMO only to be told,
Actually, could you make another Skyrim horse armor pack instead?
oh, soul crushing, man. It also sends a worrying message across the industry. Unions might protect jobs, but they can't protect passion projects from the corporate blender. If Microsoft can cancel something Phil Spencer himself adored, nothing's sacred. Now let's be real, MMOs are dying, or at least their creativity. Every new release feels like a copy-paste of something else with a slightly different hat. Project Blackbird could have been a real shake-up in a stale genre. Instead, Microsoft decided to keep us locked in this freaking endless loop of safe bets.
Destiny updates, Elder Scrolls Online expansions, World of Warcraft 47th comeback tour. Rinse, repeat, yawn.
From what insiders described, Blackbird wasn't trying to compete with Destiny by cloning it, it was trying to beat it by innovating. Verticality, speed, freedom of traversal, this thing could have set a new bar, and now that bar's been buried 6 feet deep. When studios kill projects like this, they don't just cancel a game, they choke the entire industry's willingness to take risks, and we, the players, get stuck with rehated leftovers dressed up as content. You greedy sons of... Microsoft made $101.8 billion in profit last year. Let me repeat that.
101 billion.
And yet, somehow funding Blackbird was too much risk. If you ever needed proof that modern gaming is run by accountants and not creators, here it is. This isn't about failure. Blackbird wasn't canned because the developer screwed up. It wasn't because the concept sucked. It wasn't even because the technology wasn't ready. It was killed because the money people decided new IP is too freaking expensive in a world where sequels, expansions, and DLC skin packs are guaranteed revenue. The result? We get fewer bold ideas and more franchises milked until they collapse under their own weight.
Remember when AAA gaming used to be exciting?
With Blackbird dead, what's left for poor ZeniMax Online? I guess back to Elder Scrolls Online expansions. Elder Scrolls Online is a solid multiplayer online game, but let's be honest, it's been around since 2014.
That's older than most TikTok influencers.
ZeniMax had a chance to evolve beyond Elder Scrolls Online and step into new territory. Now they're back in their comfort zone. And it's not just the poor studio. Microsoft now looks like the villain of this story, whether they intended it or not. Gamers are frustrated, developers are demoralized, and the MMO community just lost one of the few promising projects in years. For an industry that thrives on hype, Microsoft just pulled the plug on its own momentum. You'd think a $1 trillion company would want a next generation MMO to compete with Destiny and Final Fantasy XIV. Well, guess not. Instead, we get more expansions, more microtransactions, and more safe content. Ground freaking breaking. And if there is one thing the gaming industry excels at, it's not learning from its mistakes. We've seen this before. Cancel the ambitious project, stick to the safe bets, and wonder why people complain about stagnation 5 years later. Rinse and repeat. Blackbird could have been a bold experiment that inspired other studios to take risks. Instead, its cancellation tells everyone in the industry,
Don't bother.
if ZeniMax and Microsoft can't get away with trying something new, why should anyone else? We're stuck in an endless content treadmill because the people in charge have convinced themselves innovation is bad for business. It's not. Playing it safe is. Now let's face the reality. Project Blackbird didn't just die, it got erased. No public demos, no screenshots, no trailers, just scraps of leaked info and shattered dreams. It's like hearing about the greatest movie ever written, then finding out the script was tossed in a freaking bonfire. For gamers, this is one of those we'll never know moments. Was Blackbird going to be freaking revolutionary? Was it destined to fail like Anthem? We'll never find out, and that's the worst part. The potential is buried forever, and we're left with nothing but
Elder Scrolls Online expansions and corporate buzzwords.
So yeah, let's gather around and pray for Project Blackbird. It deserved better, the developers deserved better, gamers deserved better. But hey,
at least we've got another Call of Duty skin pack dropping next week. That's progress, right?
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed the roast and the decimation and want to keep following this beautiful chaos we call the gaming industry, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. And let me know in the comments, was Project Blackbird a huge missed opportunity, or was this just Microsoft dodging another Anthem-style disaster? Either way, we've got a lot to talk about. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.